Okay, this is the next in a series of videos going down our menu structure here on the left. We skipped over users because we have a separate video that describes users pretty thoroughly, and now we're going to go to meeting. And the first one you have is my availability. And this is when you have basically salespeople working for your company or your agency, and you typically have phone calls or Zoom meetings you set up with people, and you want to make your salesman available. So here, for example, I say I'm available on Tuesdays from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. That's military time in my time zone. Here's my time zone up here, and then I set on Thursday and Friday when I'm available. Definitely don't want to be available to 8 p.m. on Friday, right? So let's change that to 11, something like that. Save. And if you're going to be on vacation for a while, you can enter all that information over here, specific hours on specific days. So you click this and you can pick a day and then say when you're not available on those days. Okay, so that's the first part. You set up your schedule. Then you set up what kind of events you want to have with your salespeople. So when the guy books the call, he has a choice of choosing what is the purpose of the call: new meeting, exploratory call, or current client appointment. And then, of course, we can track how many calls you had per each of these, et cetera, and you can define your own event types, and that will be on the form again when the guy makes the appointment. The next one is settings. You specify a username for your meeting link, and then that basically goes on the end of your URL. And then basically we could take this URL, copy it to a new page over here, and paste it in. And this is where the guy can make an appointment. He says, okay, I want to meet on this day. It says no availability on this date. Oh, there. Okay, this date has different days. So I'm going to pick that time. I'm going to hit schedule. And I'm John Doe, and my topic is I want to know about your great software. And it's going to be a Zoom or a phone meeting. So then the next thing over here is your calendar. And you can see all the different appointments you've got scheduled. I don't really use this personally right now, but you can see your schedule for the week, and you can change it just like your Google Calendar. You can see it by day, by week, by month, however much detail you want. And you can see if it's upcoming, completed, missed, or canceled. And then the next thing is your prospect list. So when people make a call with you, that means obviously they're interested in your service. So I'm going to have to go back here a few months when I was testing this. And here we have different people who set up appointments with me. They're going to give their name and their email and their phone number when they make the appointment. And this is the topic that they wanted to meet about. Okay, and that's the end of the meeting deal. The next section is tasks. So this one, we have projects first. So each task is tied to a project, and we have one called No Project that's automatically set up for everybody. So if you want to, you can create tasks just tied to No Project, or you can define your own projects here. And that might be tied to your domain, or you might have 3 projects on one domain, or you could just have a project called programming, for example, for all your domains. That's up to you how you want to split that up. And then the next one is current task. We've already shown that. That's basically the same link that's up here. But since you use that every day, we wanted it to be easy to get to. So the things that you use most often are going to be up here at the top. The next one is My Tasks. And this is only when you have been assigned a task. So I'm logged on as Neil Walters, so I'm only seeing Neil Walters' task right here. And this also applies to freelancers and paid workers. So if someone assigns you a task, you would see it on here as well. Now we have all tasks. This is for maintenance, basically. You can go back to any date range. I want to see all the tasks we did in May of last year. I only want to see the ones that were completed or the ones that are something else. So if I only want to see deleted tasks here, I could click this. Let's see if we have any. Yeah, and if I wanted to restore that task, I would just hit restore. So see, we have a lot of demos here when we're testing. We create tasks and then we just delete them. And you can also limit this to my task, which is similar to the screen we were on a while ago that says show me only my tasks. And I guess I don't have any this week. Oh, I didn't say complete. Oh, current. Yeah, current. Let's do that. There, I didn't have those right boxes checked. Then the next one is completed tasks. This is only going to show you what's been finished, which you can kind of do the same thing from the other report. So I'm not going to dwell on that one. Proposals then, as if you're a freelancer and someone said like, Neil, I want you to create a BizTalk orchestration for this system. And I have my rates out there already, and they say, we'll offer you to do this in 4 hours or 8 hours. And I might read their specs and I might say, oh, there's no way I can do that in 4 hours. Give me 10 hours and I'll do it. So it's kind of like that's why it's called a proposal. You don't have to accept it, but if you want to, you can accept it as they gave it, or you can give them like a counter offer back. So that's proposals. Then for your Burndown chart, this is for your Scrum managers. So you can see how much, like right now, I have enough tasks in the system to keep me busy or keep us busy until almost the end of May, it looks like, right? The similar report is this one called the velocity chart. And we have points on every task, and usually it's a 1 to a 3, I think we have. And basically this shows how many points we've completed each week. And of course this was like a vacation week, so the points were really low that week. And then there's the change log. Let's see. Okay, this is a history of a task. So actually the most times you would use this, you would be actually on a task, and then you would go to the change log for that specific task. I'm not going to show change log here because the normal way you get to that is this way. You go to your current tasks. I'm trying to think one I know that has changes on it. Maybe this one. And then down at the bottom, there's a link that says show change task history. This one, see, has a lot of comments and activities on it, a lot of pictures, and here it says history. So that will open in a new window, I believe. See, it automatically gets the task number, and it says, okay, these are descending sequence, right? So originally the task was added, and then like I changed it, or S changed it. Somebody changed the number of points. Somebody changed the story type ID to training from whatever it was before. And so anyway, this just gives you a history of sometimes what the old values were and what the new values were. Okay, then we have task workers. This is just a repeat, basically, I think, of a report we have up here under users. So these are the people that you've invited to work your task within your company. So remember, we have all these different types of users. You have the guys that are salesmen that can do calendar work. You have the task workers who can work your task. These are typically programmers or graphic artists, those type of people. And here you see you can make them a sales agent if they're not one already. Then here we have our freelancers. And these are where you go shopping. We don't have a lot of them yet, but we're going to start opening the gates up soon to other people. And so you say, I want to find somebody that knows BizTalk. There, MS BizTalk. That's why I think it didn't work. And so I'm the only one that shows up for that. If I search for, say, Python, it's better to pick from the list. Then click here. You'll get all the programmers that do Python. If you want to search for a country instead, or mix the two, you can say, I want somebody from Poland. I think right now there shows 2 people there. So that's how you find your freelancers. Now, once you've found one, you can, there's a little button over here. Let me scroll over. I think we need to make this easier to use as well. We should have it where you just click their picture, but over here it says details. So this tells you, this is this guy, this is what he wants per hour, $15 an hour. He's passed his verifications. And now if you want to give him a task, you just click add paid task here. And see, it's automatically going to fill it in. Actually, should put his fixed cost here. We should, oh, there it is. It's the next box down. A fixed task is something different. This is let's say an hourly task. So it's already got his $15 an hour. And you say this task, I'm estimating is going to take 5 hours. And the task is like create thumbnails for my videos or whatever. Anyway, you click that and it will go to him and he can accept it or refuse it. So we have reached the bottom of the task menu. So we covered meetings and tasks in this video. And in the next video, we'll continue on down with services and finance.